where the fire never died and the story never ended.
Hi, welcome to the next episode of House of Us. Today, joining us is Kirsten Jenna Michaels. Welcome, Kirsten. So, Kirsten is the founder and CEO of FEMPOWERMENT, which was registered in UAE 2025, and she's been working here. Now, Kirsten is obviously had project is about cultivating a powerful ecosystem in Dubai that bridges community, education, and enterprises dedicated to helping women to reinvent themselves. Welcome, Kirsten, to House of Us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. So today we're going to be talking on the origin. When people talk about the origin, we always assume, oh, it's just origin. What does that mean? Are you sure? Like, is it something about you, or it's not about that? The origin is about the history, the story of how you started and how you got to this point and what motivated you to create Fempowerment and why the UAE.
Well, I mean, I've been here for 6 years, so I'm pretty used to Dubai. Dubai is home for me. And I felt like also Dubai would be the perfect place in order to start empowerment because it's so accepting of new things.
Yeah.
And Dubai is known to be the hub of innovation. If you think about the first on the scene, for all the different concepts, it's the UAE is what comes to mind.
Yeah.
And in terms of empowerment, I mean, I went through a lot of things in my life, and I was now at a stage where I had to look myself in the mirror and I said, Kirsten, you are 26. Yes, you have your whole life ahead of you, but what do you want to do with your life?
Yeah.
What's your purpose? Because if you find your purpose, your passion is directly linked to
Of
it.
course.
And for me, I am rooted in my love for people. And I just want to help as many as I can, specifically women, more along the lines of, for instance, empowerment, all the services that we offer is something that I needed one stage in my life.
Yeah.
Every single department that we had, there was a moment in my life where I would have needed this in order to save myself.
But for 26-year-old, that's a bit heavy,
Mhm.
don't you think? Because I mean, when I was 26, of course, I already set up my my second company. It works well, but eventually, like, yeah, came crashing down, but not in a bad way. It's just that because I didn't pay attention to it more. So it's very hard, especially with the Gen Zs now. Everyone is more focused on, what other people are doing. No one wants to actually put the work in. So I think having you at that age, knowing what you already want and working towards it and creating and making an impact in other women's life, that is something to be, really good. Like, you need to feel good about yourself because it's not easy. I've been with some 26-year-old, they still don't have any idea. They're lost, basically. But for you and what you're building and creating, I think is absolutely brilliant.
Well, I mean, that means a lot to me. I think that everything that I went through in my life, obviously, I had a really tough life in South Africa before coming to Dubai. And I don't think of it as a victim mentality at all. I
Yeah.
think of it as everything happens in life for a reason.
Yes.
And I had to go through certain things in order to have empathy, in order to understand women that's in similar situations, knowledge to help them understand that you can overcome, these obstacles in life, and your past doesn't need to define your future.
100%.
And I think that going through all these things in my life, it's given me the mentality that I have now in order to execute these ideas. Because like you said, there's a lot of people that's the younger generation that doesn't really have a concrete identity. And I think I'm very fortunate enough to be solid in who I am.
And it's very good because when you say like you went through a lot, when you told me about your story, I don't know if it's something you would like to share, but I mean, it's up to you. But when you told me your story, for me, for you to go through all that at that age and still came out on top of it, you didn't feel like you trapped. You didn't feel victimized and stuff. A lot of people go through what you went through and they don't want to talk about it because they're scared of what will people think about me. Am I going to be able to, speak up and still hold my head up high? But I think your story is what people need to hear because they need to understand our story doesn't define who we are. What defines us is how we actually take that story and treat the person next to us. Because you can go through something, but then the character that comes out of what you've been through and how you treat the people around you is what defines you as a person. So I think your story is a beautiful story. It is a sad story, but it's a sad story that turned out into something beautiful and now helping other women. So if you can tell us a bit about what you went through and how you overcame this situation and this problem and how you got yourself to this point that you felt you needed to speak up and you needed to help other people.
First of all, you said something that is one of my favorite topics to discuss. When women go through certain things in their life and it's, viewed as, oh, she's damaged goods, oh, she has a broken past, she comes from a broken home, etc., etc., etc. There's always this stereotype or this stigmatism that surrounds them, that
Yes.
they feel ashamed in order to talk about these things that's happened to them.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's something that should be existing, because okay, yes, all these things happen to you, but they happen for you as well. It's not in a sense of, oh, it was a positive thing to go through, 100% not, but it built you.
Yeah.
And you are a collection of all the things that you've experienced in your life. And
true.
that's who you are right now, is everything that you've experienced in the past and everything that you are now and everything that you will be in the future. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, saying that women should feel ashamed in order to talk about their past or what they've been through or the things that's happened to them, I am a firm believer that you should own your power.
Yeah.
Because if you are afraid to talk about something or you shy away from certain topics, you are giving those people the power.
Yes.
And that's not something that should be okay, because at the end of the day, there's something beautiful about being honest and being transparent. And
Yeah.
I feel like me, in terms of empowerment, that's something that I want to have a constant theme with other women. I want them to look at me. And I always said this to my team. I said that I don't want to be positioned as a person where someone looks online and they're like, oh, I wish I wish I could be like her, or I want to be like her one day. No, that's not what I want. I want a woman to scroll through and see me and say, I see myself in her.
That's true. You know, what you said now makes a lot of sense, because when I started this podcast, everyone was like, but there's so many podcasts out there. Why would people watch your podcast? It's like, because I have real people, real story, people that have gone through pain, trauma, people that actually built to succeed, failed again, and then succeeded. Now, a lot of people see people, driving Rolls Royce, have their Rolex watches and have their mansions and stuff. But behind every beautiful house, every beautiful thing, there's always a story. And that is the story that I'm looking for. And that's why I'm very curious about people's story. Because I can sit down here looking beautiful in my beautiful dress, you're looking beautiful dressed up. And everyone just sees that. And they go, oh, she's beautiful, she's educated, she's smart, she's this, she's that. But what is the story? There's always something we're all struggling with, but everyone is always scared. No one wants to speak because you have this doubt and fearful judgment. And judgment is the biggest problem everyone faces, especially we as women. We're judged by how we look, we're judged by what we say, we're judged by how we feel, what we think. It's like we don't have any opinion of ourselves. Like, people need to justify the way we should behave as women. I was working maybe about 15 years ago for someone, and I remember clearly they were all men, and these are like really older men, and I was the only woman in that place. And one of the men made a comment that I shut him down immediately. And he goes, women should not be speaking when men are speaking. It's more like, you don't have an opinion. And I told him, well, I made a comment. I mean, did I regret it? No. Did I shut him up? Yeah. I told him, well, I guess this is why your wife left and walked away with the kids. Because if you have this mentality on speaking to women and telling a woman she doesn't have an opinion, why would a woman want to stay with you? So, and that shut him up. It wasn't the nicest thing to say, but the way he said it and the way he attacked, and I'm someone you don't want to attack because I can attack back. You started, I shut it down. So I shut him down. Now we're best friends. We're good friends. But, this is what I'm saying about the story. So we need to tell our story. We need people to hear us. You have the right to your opinion. I have the right to my opinion. I don't need to force my opinion to you. And you don't have to take my opinion either. And you don't have to force yours. But I think every human being deserves to be heard, regardless of how it comes out, in a good way, in a bad way. But everyone needs to be heard.
No, I love that. And I also, what you touched on now about women feeling like they're going to be judged, so they don't speak up. I heard a quote the other day that said that when you're in your 20s, you're so obsessed about what other people think about you. And when you're in your 30s, you have the mentality of, oh, I don't care what anyone thinks about me.
True.
But when you're in your 40s, you realize no one was actually caring about you at
All those
all.
things,
They
yeah.
were all worried about
It's in your head,
themselves. Yes.
yeah.
And sometimes you are your biggest enemy because you place these boxes, you place yourself in these boxes and you think,
Sure.
okay, everyone's judging me. Oh, what are they going to think if I launch this business? What are
Yeah.
they going to think about if I start content creation? What are they going to think if I decide I'm going to be a model? I'm going to get married at a young age. Like, you need to do what's best for you.
100%. And I believe in that. Like, I feel like everyone has the right to their opinion, their decision, and what they want to do, because this is about life. Life
Yeah.
should not be about me doing what everyone else is doing. I like to do things my way. So I'm a bit extra, as my friend Monia says. She's like, Queenie, you're a bit extra, but I love her. I am extra. So coming to we're almost rounding up, but I've got a couple of more questions to ask you. What trade-offs did you use early on that affected you today? Like, what kind of trade-offs would you say you used?
I would say that I'm a mom. I have two
Oh,
beautiful children whom are my
amazing.
entire world. But in the sense of, I had to understand that there needs to be sacrifice in order to gain, progress in certain areas of your life. And there's this theory that I like to come back to is Emma Green. She says that you cannot be at all places at all times. And the faster you
100%.
get comfortable with that, the better it will be for you. In terms of, I cannot be, a CEO hands on all the time, be a mom all the time, have a relationship all the time, be a socialite all the time, because I'm going to burn out.
Of course,
And
100%.
you need to shift your priority in what needs attention to in that moment.
Yeah.
So if that means, okay, I need to work late hours in order to make sure that this company is successful, I'm not going to spend as much time as I can with my kids.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I'm not there for them. It doesn't mean that I don't love them and that I don't want to be there, but I understand that this requires my attention, immediate attention, in order to make sure that I can give them a good life.
So you're creating a balance, basically, so you know when family is priority and work is priority. Because at the
I
end of the
don't
day,
believe in balance. I think that this is something that a lot of people need to learn, that there's no such thing as balance, because you
that's
cannot
true.
be everywhere all at once. You
Yeah.
need to make peace with the fact that you are not omnipresent. Okay, you
Yes.
can't be everywhere at once. You can't do
Exactly.
everything at once. It's not physically possible. And I think that there's an idealism that people believe that in order to be perfect, you need to be 10 out of 10 in every
No,
area of your life. And there's no
impossible.
such thing.
No. And this is a pressure, like I've noticed now a lot of kids face in reality, because everyone is kind of chasing. They want to be perfect, perfect for either someone, or perfect for something, or perfect for a job, perfect for a man, perfect for a woman. But what is perfection? Because in every perfection, there's an imperfection, but the imperfection is what people are losing. And that's what people are beginning to put the shutters down, because they don't want to be seen as imperfect. They want to see as they're perfect and everything. No, we're human beings. We cannot be perfect. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to start over again. It's okay to, learn. It's okay to cry. And, I don't believe that people should not show emotions, or
I
men
love
should
that.
not show emotions. We need to show emotions, because this is what makes us human. But and the thing is, what I've noticed, when you put everything inside and you don't release it, at the time you get to the point you need to release, it becomes a disaster, because then you unleash all the demons in the world, and it's not okay. And that's because you've already put in so much, pressure on yourself, bottling things up. So I think, no, emotions should be shown. Men and women are allowed to show emotions. It doesn't show you weakness, it just shows human.
I love that, because I always sometimes I get made fun of, but I like to feel all my emotions on 100, okay? And I know that sometimes people think that's a bit intense, but if I'm not having a good day, I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to put on a smile,
Yeah.
If something's upsetting me, I'm going to bawl my eyes out. I think
Yeah.
it's extremely healthy to emotionally regulate. Crying is healthy, letting it out,
Of
feeling
course.
your emotions. If you are going to sit there and you're going to bottle up and you're going to suppress these emotions, one thing is going to go wrong, and it's going to be
Explode. It will
everything's
be an
going to come out.
explosion. I think if my dad is watching this now, he's probably going to be like, yeah, I was the crying baby. Like, before you even open your mouth, I'm crying. But then the thing is also because I'm very short-tempered, so every little thing kind of explodes. Like I could lose in a second. My mom still tells me today, like sometimes she goes, just like, you need to control your temper. You need to control your temper. And that's why today I've learned when people are really getting on my nerves, I just get up and walk away, because it's either I end it, and when I end it, it's not gonna be in a good way, or I just literally go cry in the bathroom, come back out, put my makeup, fix it up. I'm like, okay, Queenie, we're ready to rock and roll again. Where were we? Or I just exit the building. I don't need this energy, because for me, energy is everything, because I'm very spiritual in that aspect. So it's important to surround myself with positive energy. It's important to surround myself with people that have beautiful energy, because who you surround, like what you said in the beginning, the people you surround yourself with really matters. It matters in your business. It matters in your mentality, your mental health, your stability, your business, everything. Because if you have people that drain you instead of support you, it's already a problem, right? So you need to have that spirit of discernment to know, okay, this is draining my energy and I can't deal with this. I need to walk away. Or this is adding to my energy and I need this with me. So I think this is a beautiful thing.
I mean, I'm a firm believer in boundaries.
Yes.
And if someone affects my life in any negative way, they don't deserve access to me.
No, yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are, but if you do not contribute towards my life in a positive manner, I'm not saying, okay, you need to be there for me 24/7.
No.
I'm not saying that you need to always like support me and like say, come to, all my things and
Yeah.
like cheer me on. But if you are meeting anything with a negative approach, like you're saying, oh, you're never going to amount to anything,
Yeah.
you're never going to make it, or this is going to fail, respectfully, thank you so
Leave.
much, but you don't have access to me anymore.
But that's the thing when you said about, people supporting people, you don't have to support all the time. 100%. I have a lot of friends that always support. From the first time I started my company or created an event, they've always been there. And if they're not in any of my event, it's because they couldn't. Maybe there's something else. And it's
Life
understandable.
happens.
I know. But the thing is, sometimes people just want to be takers. They just want you to give, 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 give. And I always tell people, you want people to show up for you? Honey, you show up. It's
Yeah.
like praying to God, God, I need a job. I need a job. And every day you're in your house, sitting in your bed, on your pajama, on the laptop. I'm sorry. God is not, he might be a magician or whatever he is. He's not going to come down and give you a job in your bedroom on your pajama.
Yeah.
You need to get out. You need to go talk to people. You need to connect with people. You don't have to go to every single networking event, every single event, but you need to place yourself in the right place at the right time.
So funny that you said this. We were actually talking about this the other day when we were filming content.
Yeah.
Is that I was saying to our team when we were filming socials, I said that Fempowerment offers so many services in order to get you from A to Z in your life, okay? From content to reality, concept to reality. But at the same time, you need to put in the work.
Yeah.
So you can come to us and say, okay, I want to start a business. Let's take your idea from the concept and we put you through, okay, what kind of license do you need? Do you need a free zone? Do you need a mainland? Okay, LLC. Okay, what kind of funding do you need in order to start this? Do you need VC? Do you need a loan? If you come to us and you're like, I need a new skill.
Yes.
You have a workshop and certifications program. It's a month long. And at the end of it, they get accredited of the new skill that they can put on their CV. And now it allows them new jobs in different careers that they wouldn't have access to before. Just 2 examples. That being said, it's still up to them to make sure that they put in the time and the effort in order to make that business, in order
100%.
to make that career excel. Because we can provide you with all the tangible knowledge and skills, but it's up to you to make
To
sure
do
that
the
you can
work.
actually put in the effort.
Exactly. Like it's like when you need something from someone, it's like you, for example, you have an event coming up soon, right? And we were talking about it, how to get sponsors and investors and stuff. Of course, we need to put ourselves out there. We need to go to those meetings. We need to go to the places where we meet the kind of people that would understand the value of fempowerment and what fempowerment represents and be open to being sponsors to that event. But in order to secure that, you need to show up. You need to explain yourself. You need to talk to people. People need to believe in what you're selling, because when people believe in you, they pour into you. When people don't believe in you, that's when you have a roadblock, because they don't want to know, they're not interested. So when people believe, and the only way someone is going to believe in whatever you have or what you're selling, you need to show up. You need to have a conversation. But the most important thing, you need to leave an impression. Because when you leave an impression on someone, they remember you. If you don't leave an impression, they meet 1 million. Imagine it's like going to a networking event and there's what, 100, 200 people there. You manage to probably talk to maybe 5, 10 people maximum. What makes you think out of those 10 people, 4 or 5 of them will remember you?
I also believe that the right people will find you. In
Exactly.
terms of, I mean, think about how you and I met in terms of my launch happened to be at the place that you had a meeting scheduled and
I
you just
know.
decided to stay. And
Yeah.
I said, come down, like enjoy the
Yeah.
launch, like be part of it.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason in life. And as much as there's this thing that says, if you want something and it's not meant for you, no matter how hard you try, it will never work.
Yeah, you never push.
But if something is meant for you,
It
if
will
it's
come
written
find
in your
you.
story, doesn't matter how much you try to outrun it, doesn't matter how
Sure.
much you try to suppress it, doesn't matter how much you try to push it away, it will always find you.
Yeah.
So you can put yourself a million times, but those who are meant to work with you, those
They
who
will come.
see value in you, it'll come naturally.
Yeah. And it's true because I went to, you know, it was amazing because as much as I do events, I also do other stuff, but for exclusive clients and private clients, you know, things I don't talk about, but these are private things that we kind of offer to our exclusive and private clients that want exclusivity. You know, where I met the person that I'm working with right now was in a barber shop.
Mm-hmm.
I went to get my hair done, like to color my hair and obviously cut. And I walked in, and he walked into the barber shop where my friend was gonna cut my hair. And you know, he sat there for like few, maybe 5, 10 minutes to get just a quick trim. And he goes, "Hi, how are you?" I was like, "I'm good." And then, you know, "What do you do?" And we talked, and he looked at me. He's like, "I like you. I think we're gonna work together." And I was like, okay. At first in my head, I thought, it's that Dubai thing again. You know, people just talk, hand you a card, you call them, you know, salam alaikum, nice to meet you,
Mhm.
as I always say. But guess what? I messaged him and he answered and he set up a meeting. And I'm like, wow. So people like you still do exist in Dubai. And now we're working together on the private exclusive stuff that we do for private clients. But this is what I say. Who you meet, where you meet them, when you meet them, is all destined from the universe.
100%.
And if they're meant to work with you, they will find your people will find you. You know, I applied for a project. Actually, they contacted me, for example, to create a project like event for them. They loved me. Everything was great. But then, you know, decision was all from the top people. The guy I was dealing with was like, "Listen, Queenie, I like you. I want to work with your company and stuff. But the final decision is with the CEOs and the board of directors." I was like, "Yeah, sure. Let me know what they say." And they had the meeting. At the end of the day, he goes, you know, they want to go with a company that has been longer in the industry for events and stuff. And I go, "You know what? I don't think you're the right company for me and you're not the right client for me. You shouldn't think about my job as based or look at my job based on how long my company's been established. Ash and Ember was established last year. However, the passion that we have when we create is different. But you want someone that is going to create for you, someone that's been in the industry for 20, 25 years, then please, by all means, you're not the company I want to work for. And you're not the client I want to work with or work for. So thank you so much."
Mm-hmm.
And today he called me. He's like, "You know, we went for the well-established company. I think I still preferred you and, you know, the creativity and, you know, the proposal." And I was like, "Listen, I have my target audience and it's niche luxury brand and exclusive and private clients. These are the people I want to work for. These are the people I want to create for. I don't want to create for everyone. So I want those people that would love what I have to offer, but also have that privacy. They need that privacy and exclusivity. And these are the people that I want as my clients."
I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Something that you mentioned also is that the right people will find you.
Yeah.
Comes back to one of my 3 core pillars is that all it takes is one person to change the entire trajectory of your life. It's one of
100%.
my life values that I live and breathe by.
And you have that already.
Yes.
I met him and he's an outstanding person.
Yes. When I met my co-founder, I mean, essentially before that, it was just me, you know, and I doubled down on learning my AI skills. I decided that I'm going to teach myself how to code a website. I put in the hours and I taught myself new skills, but obviously I needed someone that had experience in certain networks that had, you know, developed businesses before in order to help me, you know, scale to the next level. And when I met my co-founder, Alex, it was to work with him on a completely different project, but I took out my notebook in my bag And on the notebook was our first Fempowerment logo that I'd done on Canva. Very bad quality, might I add. Atrocious.
It's always like that, you know. Till today, I suck in Canva. You tell
Mhm.
me to design something, I was like, yeah, no,
Yeah,
not
it
for
was
me.
not great, but I mean, thank goodness that I had brought it with to that meeting, because as I had taken it out of my bag,
Yeah.
Alex stopped me and he said, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "Oh, it's just this silly little company I would love to start one day." And he said, "Tell me about it." And I pitched the idea to him. He said, "I'm going to stop you right there. Don't pitch this to anyone else. I want to do this with you. 50-50, let's go in on a partnership." And I said, "Yes,
And
100%.
trust me, I met her partner. He is amazing. Like,
He's the
honestly,
best."
like when I spoke, because before I spoke to you, he came upstairs, you know, and I saw him and we spoke for like 5 minutes. You know, the humility and the humble and the time he even took. I mean, he was busy because you guys were setting up, you know, everything was a bit all over the place. But the fact that he stopped and gave me even 5 minutes of his time just to talk about your brand, for me, made a whole lot of difference, because a lot of people are constantly running. No one wants to pay attention, no one wants to hear. But anyone could be your client, anyone can also be your collaborator, anyone can also be someone that will connect you to something. So I always tell people, wait and talk to people. Give someone 5 minutes and hear them out. At the end of the day, if it's not for you, you move on. But always make sure you give that time, especially for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, founders. You need, because anyone could be your potential and you don't know, you know?
Alex is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of my entire team, they are such fantastic human beings. And I know that from the outside, when you look at a team, you think of, oh, they look like they're really close. No, my team and I, we are all family. Okay.
That's
They
good.
are my family away from home. We are all one. I
That is
don't know what I would
amazing.
do without them. It's not like only in the office and then, khalas, 5 o'clock, everyone
Yeah.
just checks out. No, we
You're a
are
family.
super connected.
Great.
Alex is my best friend.
Yeah.
My team, they're my family. I'm so incredibly lucky to be surrounded by such amazing human beings.
And
I'm
that's what they
so
said.
fortunate.
Yeah.
Relaying back to the concept that the right people will find you.
Yeah.
The fact that I got so lucky with my team, I'm so blessed and I'm so
Yeah.
fortunate. I'm so thankful for them. And that's exactly what I want to give to the rest of the community in Dubai. I want
100%.
to connect like-minded individuals that uplift, motivate, and
Yeah.
support one another.
I think now people are learning. I think with what we went through in February, because no one expected us to go through what we went through in Dubai. But I think it kind of brought out that community and team spirit and everyone connecting with each other, people actually making time to sit down and have a proper conversation. Because before, years ago, everyone was on the run, everyone is moving. You hardly have time to even sit down with a CEO or founder or even anyone, you know. But I think what happened, what we went through in February, did a 360 change on everybody's mindset, and people started believing the power of community, power of, a tribe, creating your network and building from within. Because I created something called From Within. So from within, the whole concept, when I started thinking about it, it's basically we build from within, supporting businesses, restaurants from within, which is what I want to do with the podcast also. It's about supporting businesses from within, supporting restaurants from hospitality industry from within. Because right now we don't have a lot of tourists coming, but at least we, the people, the residents here, the experts, the locals, everyone here, we can still support each other from that little that we can give, even if it's just showing up to the restaurant, having a cup of coffee, it's contributing and also in helping that restaurant. Even if it's doing business with someone you probably would not do business with, it's just contributing, but it's building our whole entire business and everything from within,
I think
and
that's
that's
also
it.
what's so beautiful about Dubai, in terms of the fact that you might think that people are closed off, but everyone wants to help each other.
Yes.
And everyone is willing to, hand you a contact, give
Yes.
you a deal, point you to
100%.
the right people. And I love that, because in terms of, everyone wants each other to succeed.
100%. And I think this is happening now. Before it wasn't. It was always everyone was in a hurry. But I think from February, March, things changed. Everyone changed. Something kind of changed in people's mentality on how to relate with each other, on how to communicate with each other, on how to, be with each other. It wasn't so much about what I can take. It was more about how can I help, which is why when I create my own Ashen Ember event, I make sure that I reach out to every single person. I put them on the group. We have a community, and these are all amazing women that I've known. They've always supported. They supported me from the beginning on the startup of Ashen Ember. And I make sure that I always reach out to them and I tell them, how can we help? What do you need? I'll add them on the group and I like, listen, introduce yourself, tell us what business that you do, let's see how we can actually help you. Maybe there's someone that does something the same thing as you do, or maybe there's someone that can help you to scale up, or I have a contact that might help you. This is my motto, because you always need to remember, if this women and this men give up their time and energy and money and everything to be at your event, the least you can do is reach out to them. Check on them. Say, hi, how are you? How's your day? Where can I help you?
100%. I mean, I think that sometimes people have the opinion about, I'm going to withhold this information, or I'm going to withhold this contact. But I think that there's enough room at the top for all of us.
Yes.
Everyone should be able to succeed. It doesn't have to be, oh, I don't want them to surpass me. I think that that's such an ugly mentality to have. You should help everyone. I mean, Marissa P, I interviewed her a couple weeks ago, and she said something so beautiful to me. She said that if you are in a position where you can reach down and pull someone else up,
Do it.
100% you should
Do
do
it
it.
without thinking
Yes,
twice.
and I think that's so beautiful, because if you are privileged enough that you've made it to the top, why be there by yourself? They say, oh, it's lonely at the top. It's not. It doesn't have to be.
No. Women feel like we need to, some women feel they need to step on other women to get up. But I say pull everyone up.
Yes.
Because why do we need to step on someone else to get up if we can actually build together as one
Yes.
community?
I mean, I will clap louder for anyone else in the room.
Yeah.
And I just
100%.
believe that there's something so beautiful about supporting each other and about having that solid community to shine.
Yes.
I will watch
Let's
you.
shine together.
Yes,
That's the
it
whole
doesn't
point.
have. You don't have to dim someone else's spark in order
Yeah.
to shine on your own.
No, we need to shine together. Great.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Jenna Michaels. I'm the founder and CEO of FEMPOWERMENT. FEMPOWERMENT offers a host of services that work hand in hand to provide a woman with the best possible chance of success in her personal and professional lives. Some of our services include our workshop and certifications program, our business launchpad program, our monthly networking events, our monthly seminars, our lovely podcasts, and our Work with Kirsten program. If you want more information about our services, please check out our website at thefempowerment.com.
Okay, so before we sign off today, I want to say thank you so much to the CEO and founder of FEMPOWERMENT, Kirsten Jenna Michaels, for being here today. She has something very quick to Nista about the event that we're collaborating in June 25, but she'll tell you more about it. But before that, I also want to extend a huge thank you to Luna Rosa, to Katharina for giving us this boat to shoot our podcast today, and my favorite amazing designer, talented Janice, and also creative director. That is the person that is doing this recording. So thank you so much. So over to you, Kirsten. If you can tell us a bit about the empowerment event coming up, and we will call it a day for today.
Sure, perfect. We have our seminar coming up on the 25th of June. Venue to be announced, because our beautiful Queenie is in charge of our events organizing. The seminar is going to be myself and my story about empowerment and my journey in order to get to where I am today. I want to encourage as many women and girls in Dubai to attend. Please pull through. It will change your life, and you will meet so many incredible, like-minded individuals that you can connect with, and that will support you in your own individual journeys.
Amazing. She couldn't have said it any better than I will. So you've heard her. event is coming up. We're going to be collaborating. I will be the organizer and she will be the speaker. If you want to know more about the story of Fempowerment, her journey, her story, what she's building for women, which I really think you need to be there. You do not want to miss that event and that seminar, 25th of June. Watch out when we post the podcast. We're going to have the links and the follow, and you can follow her on @Fempowerment on her Instagram, and you can also follow us at the official Asher Lambert of at the official Asher Lambert affair. Oh my god, I forgot that. Anyway, just follow us and you would get more information about the next episode. Thank you so much for watching The House of Us. Until next time, bye.